Why, look at what we have here, folks!
So first of all, we're going to talk about Celtic Championship Wrestling, who are back for their biggest show of the year in Revolution VI, which takes place next Saturday, June 2nd, at the Common Inns Hotel in Cork. To tell us more about now, joining us on the line is CCW promoter Lee Calahane. Lee, thanks for joining us again, the Kickout. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a while, David, yeah. But you know what? Glad to be here.
Absolutely, we're glad to have you back. Forgive us for the delay, but it's glad to finally have you back, and finally have you back for your biggest show of the year, in Revolution VI.
Yeah, the road to Revolution is truly well done, and we're ready to kickstart one of the biggest shows we've ever done. So we're looking forward to it. We're excited.
Absolutely. So, and it has all the makings of an awesome card coming up. Now, before I bring up any of the confirmed matches, I'd just like to get your perspective on an issue that's concerning yourself and your former teammates from the establishment, Calahane. Now, it's come to our understanding there's been a bit of an issue between the two of you, and as of late, Calahane has challenged yourself to a death match. Now, do you wish to address that situation at the moment, or what is the current status of everything going on there?
I'll keep it very brief on the subject, really,
okay.
Dave. I've told the CCW fans that I will address this tomorrow, or should I say Friday night at the press conference. Mm-hmm. So I don't know when this airs. This is going to air the day after, I guess. So I will have had addressed it the night before at the press conference. So, all I can say is, Jack Voice and Calahane have been holding me back for too long, and enough is enough.
Okay, well, we'll see what the situation is. As you said, so your press conference is happening on Friday, also in the Common Inns Hotel. So I presume it's not just that situation, but all the other matches will be addressed one final time for that as well, right?
Yeah, of course. It's going to be a full panel. There'll be representative of every match pretty much on the card. You're going to have the Armstrongs, the tag team champions, are going to be there. Mm-hmm. You're going to have Therapy are going to be there. Mm-hmm. Billy Bedlam, Raven Creed, Gunter Isaac. Mm-hmm. You're going to have the CCW All-Star champion, Vic Viper. You're going to have Ricky Combat there, Steve Savage, and others as well. Flight Mode are going to be there. Pretty much a member of at least every match, bar maybe the Doug Williams and Paul Tracy match, are going to be at the press conference. They're going to be talking about Revolution VI. They're going to be talking about breaking down each match, and also as well, there's going to be a Q&A session with local media and press. Fans are invited as well. So it's going to be, an interesting one. And of course, yes, I will highlight the challenge that Lycan's made to me. And that and so much more. Absolutely.
So it'll be exciting ahead for any fans and members of the CCW fan base to be able to check that out. So obviously the first match I want to address is you have a 20-man battle royale in commemoration for Dan O'Mahony. Now, for those who have never heard of Dan O'Mahony, what has he contributed to CCW or Irish wrestling in the past, and what does the ramifications mean for this battle royale?
Well, I suppose given our geographical location, we're based here in Cork, and we're quite proud that the first ever, I suppose, wrestling world heavyweight champion came from Cork, and he came from a town that's only, I suppose, 10 kilometres away from where I am, and in a little town called Ballyhob, and his name was Dan O'Mahony. Mm-hmm. And I suppose back in the 30s, he would win the first ever Irish man anyway to ever hold a world heavyweight title. That championship would be later known as the NWA's world title.
Okay.
So, yeah, I suppose for that reason, we'd like to pay homage to Dan O'Mahony and by bringing in the Dan O'Mahony Memorial Trophy.
Absolutely. It's a very fitting memorial for someone who has such an esteemed history, as you said, like a former NWA world champion. Is there an idea of what members of the CCW roster will be involved in the match?
Yeah, of course. So far confirmed, we're going to have members of Therapy, Billy Bedlam and Gunter Isaac. Mm-hmm. We're going to have tag teams in it like Redemption. We're going to have Flight Mode. Mm-hmm. You're going to have the Nintendo. You're going to have J Money, I think has been confirmed for it. You're going to have Giordano from International Wrestling Syndicate in Canada. You're going to have there's a lot of guys in it, a lot of big names. Steve Savage is going to be in it as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's going to be a big one. More names are going to be announced as the week progresses. But the winner takes home the trophy.
Absolutely. So definitely an intriguing match. A lot of all your titles are on the line, of course, on the card. A very interesting match is between Vic Viper, the reigning CCW All-Star champion, to take on the Ballymun Bruiser. Now, I saw their the promo for this beforehand, and they go back a few years, and so it's almost like a friendly rivalry between the two of them going into this match.
Yeah, I think that obviously you're always going to want to have the best match you possibly can against someone that you've cut your teeth with in the business.
Mm-hmm.
No bullshit in this one, really. It's just two guys that are going out there to have a great match. It's going to be interesting to see if that's the way it's going to materialise at Revolution 6. We know what Vic Viper's capable of, and we know what he's like, especially with his lackeys, Redemption members, Jacob and Amos. So, are they going to get involved in the match, or is it going to be a straight-up affair? Who knows? Are we going to see a new All-Star champion? We'll see Revolution 6.
You never know. Well, sometimes the best matches are between friends. Like sometimes the friends are the ones who hit you the hardest. So in that case, it could be that type of match. So it could be very much like that. Or who knows, like as you mentioned, the Vic Viper's associates could be involved in that as well. Probably one of the most intriguing rivalries or most intense rivalries in not just CCW but in all Irish wrestling for us, certainly us in the KKO, has been between Raven Creed and Debbie Cattell. And looks like they're finally going to go for the final chapter here for their women's championship. How have you found their rivalry in particular in CCW?
Well, this rivalry started off at Revolution 5, so here we are a year later. Mm-hmm. Great booking. I don't know. Thanks, Dave.
I take no credit for it whatsoever.
It's going to be a great match. These girls have literally tore it up. They were a part of the female event that OTT did as well. So they're getting that experience in other promotions as well. But certainly this rivalry was born in CCW, and look, it's only I suppose it's only proper that it should end in CCW. So yeah, I mean it's great to see both women doing so well, and I think the match at Revolution 6 is going to reflect exactly how far they've come in their wrestling journey. So it's going to be a classic. It's going to be one of the best matches in the card, and really looking forward to seeing it.
I certainly can't wait to check it out when I get the chance. Because for us, every time we've seen them live, they've always had a barn burner. Like whether it's here in Dublin or obviously over in Cork, like especially their ladder match at Ladder Wars recently. So it should be an awesome match to finally end the rivalry. A very intriguing match then is between Doug Williams, who recently became Progress Atlas champion last week. Will take on the Lord of the Manor himself, Paul Tracy, in a very intriguing match. It's a match that it's one of these matches that you think probably has happened, but actually hasn't happened to such an Irish soil.
It's never happened in Irish soil, and in fact, it's been a decade since it's actually happened.
Oh, really?
So it's been 10 years since it happened.
Wow.
Since they fought, wrestled once before, and that was 10 years ago. So this kind of match is your typical two legends having an exhibition match. This isn't about rivalries. This isn't about feuds or anything like that. This is just two of the best in the world just going at it.
Absolutely, it's definitely an intriguing match. Especially 10 years in the making from their first match. So definitely an interesting match.
And look, it's great to finally, it's great to have Doug back. Anyway, we had him at Revolution last year as well. But also, it's great to finally be able to get Paul Tracy, and he's one of those Irish wrestling icons, I suppose, that we haven't had in 6 years, which is crazy if you think about it. But, just things didn't work out in the past when we tried to bring him in. So it's just amazing to have him on board. And especially in the match that he's going to be taking on Doug Williams, it's going to be an amazing one.
Absolutely. It's definitely an intriguing match ahead. Obviously, that's a match that, as you mentioned, doesn't have such any rivalry as such. The tag title match, on the other hand, does have a bit of rivalry going into it. The Armstrongs, who are doing very well as CCW Tag Team Champions, will take on probably their toughest challenge today. It's no disrespect, against Rough Stuff. And these are two teams that are really making a big name for themselves lately.
Yeah, definitely. Again, the Armstrongs are getting that push around the country as well. Rough Stuff too, and the whole story behind this is the fact that in December the Armstrongs won the championships, and since then they've been on a whirlwind. But Rough Stuff's, I suppose, their argument in this scenario really is the fact that they've never been pinned by the Armstrongs. In fact, they've never been pinned by anyone, and they have 2 victories over the Armstrongs.
That's true.
So at Revolution 6, are we going to see Rough Stuff go 3-0, or are the Armstrongs going to retain the titles and finally get that victory, proving that they are indeed the best tag team champions that we have to offer right now? I don't know. It's going to be a good one, but it's just going to be a flat-out brawl, really, at this stage, because Rough Stuff have been talking about taking those tag team belts since they came in just over a year ago. So, it's definitely going to be another drag-out brawl.
It certainly puts the Armstrongs in a tricky position because, because of their record against Rough Stuff, they'd be look on to this match as the underdogs. Would you agree with that?
100%, and I think it's fair to say that the Armstrongs are underdogs in majority of their matches. But you know what? It's just the tag team chemistry that they have is just unparalleled. So it's going to be a great match. Each match that you watch the Armstrongs compete in, and I've been in there with them a few times as well, and I have to give them props. Like, they're just getting better and better each match. So, and I think the same is to be said for Rough Stuff. I mean, Rough Stuff are just a dominant tag team.
Absolutely.
And, they're just two beasts. So when you're having a match with Rough Stuff, and certainly that the Armstrongs are going to be having to plan out a plan of attack for this one, because it's not going to be just one of those matches where you're going to be technical. It's just going to be a match of survival more so. Absolutely.
Well, it's definitely an intriguing match for sure. I'd like to see who the better tag team is in CCW. And of course, the main event for the vacant CCW heavyweight title, vacated by Pastor William Eaver in a fatal 4-way elimination match. Now, this was all the contestants of this match were brought into this match due to the tournament you had at your most recent show. And so you have Ricky Combat, Danny Butler, Lewis Garvin and Justy competing to become the next ECW champion. So who do you think going into this match, or about all the 4 participants, what qualities do you think each person brings to this match to give each other an advantage from the other, let's say?
Yeah, I suppose, look, each guy comes in with a story. Big League Justy, he's the guy who came in, last year and, said he's going to take CCW to the big leagues, and, that we were a Bush League promotion. He's going to want to go in there and he's going to want to come out with the championship, because if not, he's had matches with the likes of Ricky Combat, Danny the Beast, he's feuding with Danny the Beast Butler right now, because these two guys are literally beating the crap out of each other every show. So that's going to be an interesting dichotomy between the two of them. But yeah, Justy, he's brash, he's arrogant, and he's hungry to win that championship, because where does he go afterwards if he doesn't win the championship? It'll be interesting to see. But
absolutely.
Danny the Beast Butler, of course, though their paths are coinciding with each other. I think it's going to be pretty easy to know who's going for who at the start of this matchup. So again, Danny's been on a pretty good run as of late. It wasn't long ago that he was the CCW All-Star champion.
That's true.
Who knows, will he walk out as the CCW Heavyweight champion? Only time will tell. The story of Lewis Garvin, what can I say? A guy who hadn't had a victory all year and finally managed to get a roll-up on the Ballymun Bruiser at P2 Paint Spotting. Could the Cinderella story happen? Who knows, maybe. But, he finds himself in a pretty good position now in that fatal 4-way elimination match. And then finally, a former heavyweight champion in Ricky Combat, I guess, he's been the kind of the poster child for CCW over the years, and, what would it mean for him to finally raise his second championship reign? So we'll see.
As you said, all 4 of them have very intriguing stories going in, so it's just a matter of time to see how it all pans out. So it's definitely an intriguing title match for sure. So for those who don't know where you can get tickets, where can you get tickets for the event?
Yeah, tickets are available at eventbrite.ie. It's CCW Revolution VI. You can, I think there's limited. I think there's a few VIP left, but yeah, get down to the Commons Inn Hotel, Cork City Centre. There's a bus that goes from the city centre anyway to the Commons Inn. It's only about 5 minutes out the road. So yeah, it's going to be a good one from top to bottom. It is an absolute stacked card. It's a who's who of Irish wrestling, and we really focused strongly on Irish talent as well on this card. We do have some wrestlers from Switzerland and Canada and Scotland and other parts of the UK. Doug Williams obviously from England, but we've really concentrated on a lot of Irish talent and the top of the Irish talent. So yeah, it's going to be a good one. I advise any fans, whether you're from Cork or whether they're from Limerick or whether they're from Dublin or Northern Ireland, get down to CCW Revolution VI, because we're going to be giving you absolutely everything we have.
That's an awesome show. Definitely a good promise there to anyone looking to check out you guys. So obviously, Lee, thank you. All the best and more for the show, CCW Revolution VI, and all the best in the press conference beforehand. And we hope to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, cheers, Dave. And if you don't mind, I'd like to plug as well.
Of course.
One more cheap plug, the On Demand as well. CCW On Demand. Go to www.ccwofficial.com. If you can't make the show, check out our backlog of shows there. We've also got loads of promotions from around the globe there, including Joey Ryan's Bar Wrestling and, PCW from the UK. They're all on our channel as well. So, yeah, if you want to see, any of the last shows or Revolution 6 on demand, then go to ccwofficial.com. Thanks a million, Dave.
No problem at all. Thank you very much.